Oppo's at it again, and this time around we've got the Oppo F3 Plus, one of Oppo's more expensive phones in recent times. In the last few years, Oppo's focus has been on the selfie camera. So, is this just another overpriced selfie shooter, or is there more to the F3 Plus than the price tag and the selfie cameras? Well, let's find out. But before we do, if this is your first time here, or in case you just can't remember, my name's Ash, this is C4E Tech, and you're watching our full review of the Oppo F3 Plus. Let's get started. As always, let's start with the built-in design. To the front, on top, we've got the dual front-facing cameras, more on them in a bit, the earpiece and sensors. Now that's followed by a 6-inch display, and then we have 3 capacitive keys at the bottom. While it might look like a physical key at the center, this is actually a capacitive key that has the fingerprint scanner built in. In my time with the F3 Plus, the fingerprint scanner was quick and accurate. By the way, this is an active scanner that can wake the phone from sleep. It posed no issues. The 3.5mm headphone jack, speaker, primary microphone, and a USB OTG enabled micro USB port can be found at the bottom. We have the power button and the slot to the right. The tray here can take either 2 SIMs or a SIM and a micro SD card. The volume rockers can be found to the left, and up top we have just the sole secondary noise cancelling microphone. To the back there's the 16 megapixel rear camera with the IMX398 sensor that Oppo claims to have co-developed with Sony. It's got an extra wide f1.7 aperture, dual phase detection autofocus, and big 1.4 micron sized pixels. The F3 Plus is just 7.35mm thick and weighs in at about the 185 gram mark. Like I said in the unboxing, it feels sleek and the metal build gives it a nice feel, but the overall design, like other Oppo phones these days, does feel bland, feels way too iPhone-ish for my liking, just like almost every other phone coming out of China. So while there are no quality control issues or just quality issues, the design, in my honest opinion, is a miss. The display here is a 6-inch IPS LCD panel with a full HD resolution. So that's about 365 pixels per inch. Not the sharpest, but sharp enough for most day-to-day usage scenarios. The color reproduction's good, the viewing angles are great, and this display is also quite bright. Note that it is covered by Corning's latest Gorilla Glass 5 for protection. Now that also means that, just like the Huawei P10, the oleophobic coatings kind of messed up since there was a screen protector pre-applied. Now underneath the hood, here's where Oppo's recently been compromising with weird MediaTek chips. But this time around, well, it's not a flagship chip, they've still gone with the excellent mid-range Snapdragon 653. Now that's 4 Cortex A53 cores clocked up to 1.95 GHz each, and 4 Cortex A53 cores clocked up to 1.4 GHz each, coupled with an Adreno 510 GPU and 4 gigs of RAM. There's also 64 gigs of onboard storage. The performance was quite good. With day-to-day intense usage scenarios like gaming, the F3 Plus had no issues. It managed to run every game we threw at it with ease. No lag, no frame drops. The audio via the earphones and the single speaker is quite decent, and I faced no issues with cellular reception or call quality either. The F3 Plus does have support for GeoVolt out of the box. Now, there is a 4000 mAh battery backing all this up, and the battery life was quite good too. ColorOS on the F3 Plus does not show screen on times. Why, Oppo, why? Again, not even battery graphs. Anyway, that's weird and annoying, but with my regular kind of usage, I was easily able to get over a day on a full charge. I ended each of my 7 days with this phone as my primary, with about 25 to 45% juice left depending on how intense my usage was. If you need to top up, the included VOC charger helps. It's really fast. With that, let's now get to the cameras. To the back, the F3 Plus sports a 16 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization and an f1.7 aperture. Like I said, this is the IMX398 sensor. Under good lighting conditions, the performance was quite good. There was a little bit of software sharpening at play. Now to give you some perspective, here are images shot with the F3 Plus side by side with ones shot on the OnePlus 3T. The color reproduction's a tad better with the 3T, the images seem to have more detail too. You can notice that especially when you crop in. The f1.7 aperture also means that the F3 Plus can shoot images with a nice shallow depth of field or bokeh. Under low light, the performance degrades, but it's still acceptable while not quite as good as you'd expect it to be. Say for example, the OnePlus 3T does manage to outperform it. Now, as far as video goes, the F3 Plus can shoot 4K videos at 30 frames per second. The quality is good. Again, a better software sharpening here. For some weird reason, the dynamic range is not good with videos. It was great with still images, but with videos, just not there. This leads me to conclude that this might be a problem with Oppo's software rather than the hardware itself. Anyway, with that, let's talk about the USP of this phone, those two selfie cameras. Here is where the F3 Plus excels. It's got a 16 megapixel primary camera and a secondary 8 megapixel camera with a 120-degree wide-angle lens, both with 1x3 inch sensors. The performance is excellent. Even under low light, the F3 Plus manages to do quite well. Additionally, this phone also has a screen flash option that helps you get much better selfies under low light. Now, as far as software goes, the F3 Plus runs on Android 6 Marshmallow. Yes, 6 Marshmallow. With Oppo's ColorOS 3 on top. ColorOS is a highly skinned version of Android and doesn't have an app drawer. There's not a lot of bloat here. That's nice. ColorOS also has its own set of tweaks, including a theme store. All that said, there are a couple of very weird software decisions that Oppo's made. For example, the lack of battery stats. Another very annoying thing here is when you pull down the notification shade, it takes you to quick toggles, not notifications. Oppo, if you're watching, there's a reason why it's called a notification shade. When we pull it down, we expect to access the notifications. Anyway, in the larger scheme of things, it might appear trivial. For the most part, ColorOS 3 on the F3 Plus was fluid and smooth. Apps opened up quick without any lag. The memory management was quite good too. So with that, let us now talk price. I'm sure you guys are waiting for this. These days, I see people with if it's Oppo, it's bad, it's overpriced, it's a crappy phone. That's the kind of mentality and the vibe that I'm seeing. Anything positive said about Oppo is immediately met with a ton of, oh my god, he's paid, this is biased kind of comments. I usually don't let that get to me, but recently when I posted a selfie on Instagram, I usually add hashtags of the phones I shoot them from. I actually didn't. Then I thought to myself, why didn't I do it? It was kind of like a split-second thing where I thought, damn, if I do this, there are going to be so many people who are going to say, oh my god, Oppo sponsored it. There's nothing wrong with them sponsoring it. It's just that, any coverage is deemed as biased, why it's Oppo, those kind of things. Guys, here's where I have to say, a review is not a popularity contest. My job is not to tell you what you'd love to hear, but rather the facts as I see fit. The facts are the F3 Plus is an excellent phone. It's got amazing cameras, selfie cameras. The rear camera is not too bad either. But the facts also deem the F3 Plus to be overpriced. And the OnePlus 3T is a much better phone, as in it offers much better value. So if selfies mean a lot to you, then I'm going to say the F3 Plus is definitely a phone that you can buy. But if you don't care a lot about selfies, if you're willing to put up with a selfie camera that's, just not quite as good or wide, then the OnePlus 3T is the better pick. An AMOLED display, close to stock Android, 6 gigs of RAM, a camera that's on par, if not a tad better than the F3 Plus, the rear camera that is. And that's all because of the software. Talking about the software, it's also running the latest Android 7 Nougat, all that while managing to be 2,000 rupees cheaper. So that's it for my 2 cents on the Oppo F3 Plus. Do you agree with what I've had to say in this video? Let me know in the comments below. If you do want to pick a F3 Plus up, I'll be leaving direct links in the description below. Use them, helps the channel out. So I guess that's it for this video. Give it a big huge thumbs down if you hated it, but if you did like it, turn that into a thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. If you have already subscribed, do this to make sure you get notified each and every time a new video goes live here on C4eTech. So thanks a lot for watching. Yes, we are still having air conditioner issues, and that's why I'm sweating. Sorry about that. Till next time, this here is Ash from C4eTech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.